Nerdecrafter. So many of you asked me to do something Undertale themed, and I do read your comments, it's just I had a bit of a queue to get to it. There are so many tutorials that show you how to make the characters, so I wanted to take a different twist. And so for this week's tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to make your very own miniature Undertale environment. I absolutely love this little piece. It is so tiny. If you guys look at it, you'll see how small it is compared to my fingers. I wanted to give it a peaceful and eerie feel, and that's why we have echo flowers, a waterfall, and Napstablook's house. Unfortunately, my camera can't catch things in the dark, so I'm going to show you a picture of it while it's glowing. If you are Undertale fans. This week's video is a collaboration with my really good friend, Mimi from GEEKY, and she made this really cute Toriel's kitchen magnets. You can write a little note, or you can put some reminders. Make sure you check out her channel and her video and subscribe while you're there. She's pretty geeky. For those of you new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. There are plenty of geeky tutorials to keep you entertained. Equally, if you like this project, don't forget to leave a like and share. All the dweebs are doing it. Here's what you'll need for this project. Blue, brown, green, gold, black, and 2 colors in glow-in-the-dark polymer clay. All these are from Sculpey. Glow-in-the-dark powder. Your resin kit. Since this project is really tiny, I'm going to be using UV resin. Check the description box for more information. Rounded pointy tools and a cutter. A really thin wire. The first thing we're going to do is flatten our dark blue and cut out a rectangular shape. I used a piece of paper to make sure they are the same size. Make sure you have 2 of these pieces. You're going to make texture on the wall by making squiggly lines with your cutter and on the floor with a craft toothbrush. Now cut a straight line for the waterfall area on both pieces at the same time. Then for the rest of the water, only on the bottom floor. Once that's done, flatten a thinner piece of blue clay and start placing the 4 smaller parts on top. You want to make sure it's exactly the same size as it started off, so make sure that you use that piece of paper to gauge it. Cut off the excess clay sticking out and blend the sides together. Now you're going to do exactly the same thing for the wall area by flattening the sheet and placing it on top. For the vine, roll a piece of green clay really thin, then place small pieces of green on top to imitate foliage. Since this is a really tiny piece, it's entirely up to you how much detail you want to put into it. Add small pieces of blue glow-in-the-dark clay to mimic those in the game. Now when we put the diorama together, there will be a small gap for where the waterfall goes. Cover it with a really thin sheet of blue clay and blend it in fully so that no resin escapes. Of course, if you have liquid Sculpey, be sure to use it to seal any gaps. To make cattail plants, make a small oval with your brown and place it on a piece of wire. Make as many as you want and place them on a piece of clay to hold them in place. Make the bridge by rolling some brown clay, put them together, then cut off the ends. Place it also on a piece of clay so that it doesn't sink down. Make as many as you want. For the echo flowers, use your glow-in-the-dark blue for them. Roll a piece of clay on a small wire until it looks something like this. Flatten a small piece of clay on wax or parchment paper, then place the wired piece on top of it. Now flatten another piece of clay and you're going to place that on top of the wire. Now shape it with your pointy tool to make the petals. Put black paint or clay for the center, then another piece of glow on top. Place it wherever you like. Make Napstablook's house by rolling only the lower part of your clay and adding a small triangle roof. Make a small window and add darker blue clay on the inside, and of course, don't forget the tiny door. We're almost done. Take your green glow clay and cut tiny lily pads. Of course, you can also roll your clay and flatten it if you prefer. Make as many as you want. Feel free to add more blue on the floor. Now bake it for 30 minutes at 275 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure that your oven was preheated. Once baked, paint the cattail stems. Now for the resin part, mix your resin with some glow powder, enough to be opaque. Tape the open end with clear tape and push down to make sure there are no gaps. Feel free to use any of your tools to push even more. If you dropped some resin somewhere, don't worry about it, you can just remove it with rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip. If you don't have resin, that's also okay. You can use glow blue polymer clay to make it look like water. Be sure to watch my duck in a pot tutorial to see how I made a water effect with polymer clay. Now let it cure as per package instructions. Remove the tape and do exactly the same process on the other sides. For the final touch, add a very thin coat of resin and place the lily pads right on top. All done! Don't forget to check out Mimi's video and her channel and subscribe while you're there. If you have suggestions for future geeky tutorials, leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to add me on Instagram. I'm there quite a bit. But if you're feeling extra generous, please add me on Twitter. It's a pretty sad social media for me. Until then, I will see you guys next week.